So, for the most part, like whether or not bees feed on cat bodies or people doesn't make a whole lot of difference to backyard beekeepers, right? It's still an issue that you have to control. But it does help us explain a lot of what our health issues with bees. So this photo here is taken of a summer bee on the left and the winter bee on the right. The summer bee on the left, and this is their fat bodies. So the summer bee on the left has very few fat bodies. The summer bee on the right has a ton of fat bodies. That's why it's so light there. And so fat bodies are hugely important for bees to survive the winter. And so if you have a bee that's sucking on the fat body, or sorry, not honey, but sucking on the fat bodies of your bee, that's going to really affect its ability to make it through the winter. So the difference between summer and winter bees are the individual activity, endocrine profiles, the nutrient stores, and the longevity. So we're really thinking about those winter bees and how important it is to have healthy fat bodies and bees that are really fat going into winter. All right. So another question for integrative pest management that we want to think about is when our control should begin. So Bee Squad and lots of other groups around the country recommend testing for mites at least once per month. And you want to do that through your beekeeping season, so often that's April through October, depending on temperatures. And then you should be managing your mite levels off of your test results from doing those tests in your colonies. If you have just a few colonies, we recommend testing every single colony. If you have a lot of colonies, we recommend testing 8 colonies per yard. And depending on your scale, you'll want to do a few different yards. It's also really important to test before and after doing a treatment. So for some people, they're like, oh, I tested, I had high mite levels, and I put a treatment on, and they think they're good to go. And we really recommend that you test after the treatment too, because you want to know if that treatment was effective. Some of the treatments kind of take a little bit of time for the mice to fully die, so you might want to test 2 or 3 weeks after treatment. But testing frequently helps you understand where your mite levels were and if you see a spike or not. And you want to really pay attention in the late summer and the fall. One way to monitor for mites is through a powdered sugar roll test. I forgot my picture was in there, but we were really excited when we found the mite check kit for it's kind of new. So you can build your own powdered sugar roll test at home. It's pretty easy. The hardest part is finding the 8mm wire mesh size. That's kind of perfect for this test. But if you like hands-on craft projects, make your own kit. It's like a mason jar and some water. It's online at the University of Minnesota Bee Lab's website about how to make your own kit. We found out that a lot of people just wanted to buy it because it was easier. So you can get this test kit from a lot of beekeeping suppliers and from Michigan State and University of Minnesota bookstores. So there's a video that shows how to do the powdered sugar roll online. The University of Minnesota Bee Lab put together a bunch of videos last year about how to do a powdered sugar roll. So if you haven't done it before, I highly recommend watching a couple of videos. If you can find someone in your beekeeping club that has done the powdered sugar roll, it'd be great to do it with them first. We also recommend doing it really early in the spring so that you have some time to practice because it's a little bit more advanced to do it in the fall when you have a big population of bees and bees are robbing, and that's when your mite numbers are super important when they're in the fall. So start early, yes?
What's your feelings on comparison between the sugar roll test and the new alcohol wash?
Yeah, yep, so we have information on that too. I haven't done, so the growing easy check, or just any alcohol wash?
No, they were named.
Yeah.
They claim it's more accurate. It's easier because it's being barfed inside of a...
Right, so there's pros and cons of each test. So the alcohol wash is known to be a little bit more accurate and it's a little bit easier different times of the year. If you're willing to do an alcohol wash, go for it. We work with some beekeepers who have a really hard time with this idea of killing a sample of 300 bees. And we know from a colony health point, it's not going to hurt the colony to kill a sample of 300 bees, right? The colony's going to be okay. But the one thing that's nice about the powdered sugar roll is that it's a non-destructive test. So basically what you're doing is you're taking a scoop of bees, putting in the jar with a screen on it, put some powdered sugar in that jar, and you leave the jar alone for 2 minutes. The powdered bees heat up, the mites start falling off of them, and then you shake the jar for a minute. Bees stay inside the jar, the powdered sugar and the mites fall out, and then at the end of the minute you use some water to dilute the powdered sugar so you can count the mites. So the downfall with the powdered sugar roll is that if the bees have a lot of nectar in their guts, sometimes they'll spread it out and will get kind of sticky and the mites don't fall off quite as well. There's also data that show that you need to be using pretty new powdered sugar. If you keep trying to use the same old bag of powdered sugar, it may not be as effective. Pros and cons to both. Find something that works for you. But in both cases, normally you want about 300 bees in your sample so that you're able to, and then you divide your mite level by 3. So you report your mite levels per 100 bees. Yes?
Can you explain the alcohol wash?
Explain the alcohol wash? Yeah, so I have a slide on. There's one method that's the Bro Easy Check. I'll get to that slide in a little bit. And that's a kit that you can buy. It's like this plastic tube. And it comes with instructions and there's videos online of how to use it. But there's also home-made ways to do it. Oh, there you go. I was wondering if the partnership has like a tutorial on it. But there's also different ways. You just need like the right size. You don't have to do the Bro Easy Check. You can get the right size sieves. But again, you're getting, normally what you're doing is you're getting about 300 bees in a jar with alcohol. You shake it for a minute, and then you're putting the bees over a sieve that allows the mites to fall through, but not the bees. And then you're rinsing, go back a few times so that you're rinsing the bees with alcohol to make sure all the mites come off.
So the bees die, right?
The bees die, yep. So that's alcohol wash, yep, yes.
For an alcohol source, we heard people use windshield washer fluid.
Uh-huh.
Effective? Not?
The Bro Easy Check says it is effective, and I think it depends on which kind of windshield wiper fluid you use. Like one of the temperature ones is better than the other one. You have to read the label.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that idea because like I have windshield wiper fluid.
The winter windshield washer fluid works really well.
What's that?
The winter formula
The winter formula, okay.
works better.
Which is good because that's the kind we all have, right? It's probably harder in those southern states. Yes.
What does 300 bees look
What does 300 bees look like? It's 100 milliliters, or about half a cup if the bees are top tapped down. So, if you get the kit, it'll have a scoop on it with the 100 milliliter line, so you can fill that scoop up with bees. But one problem is that sometimes beekeepers don't have enough bees in their sample, and so they say, oh, I only had 2 mites, but if it's 2 mites per 100 bees, or 2 mites for 300 bees, that's a pretty big difference.
So the easy way to do it is if you have a winter dead out, put in 300 bees, put them in a jar, put a marker 9, and that will be your sample for going forward.
You can do it on the
And with
If you have a winter dead out.
so that's a really good idea. One thing though is that the live bees and the dead bees, they kind of pack down differently in the tip
So
top.
it kind of gives you a sample. You don't have to be 300 all the time, you just want to be consistent when you do it. You go to 100 or 400. That's going to be it.
Yes?
Speaking on dead out, is there a way to test your dead bees from a dead out for mite level that you could kind of use that here?
Is there a way to test? Dan, is there a way to test your dead out for mite levels? That's what you guys would.
Just saw a video on YouTube. They used the Easy Check. Grab it, wash them off, and they came up with like 25 bees per 100, or 25 mites per 100.
I know that sometimes people will send samples to the USDA of dead bees, and then they're able to quantify the rural levels.
I always
We do more emergency response.
in a dead out. I always look at just bottom board debris and see, see is there a pile of mites? Just kind of looking for those context clues. So I would think they would tend to drop off once the bee dies, but I don't know definitively yet.
Yeah, and so some people will send samples to the USDA for diagnostic services for why their bees died. All right. So one thing that we're really excited about is we made an app for MiteCheck. So if you haven't done MiteCheck, or if you have and you still want to just be really cool and have the app on your phone, you can get it. It's for Android or for iPhones on the Apple Store, on Google Play. If you search MiteCheck, it should come up. We just brought it out of test mode. But this has been this partnership with lots of different universities and organizations of trying to provide more resources to beekeepers to be able to monitor for varroa. Is anyone going to sell it right now? Because then we can do there's a fun activity to do sell it. All right, so I'll pull it up. So if you guys want, if if you want to join it, it'd be cool. Start downloading it now. I'll talk a little bit about the app. But there are a few different benefits of having the mic on your phone. Or sorry, the mic on your phone. You can report your mic counts to mic check, which I'll talk about. There's also tutorials, so it'll walk you through the different steps of doing a powdered sugar roll, and we're going to add on there how to the steps for doing an alcohol wash. So that's upcoming. And there's also a shake trainer, which we'll talk about. It also allows you to tag your data for your geographic location, and also report your mic practices. So you could say, okay, here are the mic levels I got, this is what I plan to do, or how I plan to treat, and it goes back into this national reporting center, and it allows us to learn better from each other. So we have videos on how to do the powdered sugar roll. If you're in the yard and you're like, I kind of don't remember how to do this, you can watch the video on the app. There's also a step-by-step guide that's written out instructions of how to do a test. Some issues with some powdered sugar roll are that beekeepers don't shake hard enough and don't shake long enough. So they're doing the test right, they might have 300 bees in their sample, but if you're not shaking hard enough, you might be missing mites, and then you might not be making the best decisions about management because you think your mite levels are lower than they really are. So we put into here a shake simulator that shows, like, instructs you how hard you should be shaking. This is the mite check map. It shows the highest level of mites reported at the county level. So I feel like Southern Wisconsin could be much better represented than Wisconsin. For a while, it was just Minnesota and Michigan that were really rolling it out, so it looked like we were the epicenter of the mite problems because we were the only ones on the map. But we've done a lot better participation now. And so it reports at the county level, so your neighbor isn't necessarily going to know that it's you with the highest mite levels, but it's one way for us to share information, participate in citizen science, and then also remind beekeepers about horizontal transmission and how we have to take mites seriously. And this is part of the Informed Partnership as well as some of the universities. So future things that are going to happen in the app are that we're going to interpret the survey results. There's going to be more data to beekeepers. We can come up with some reminder systems that says, hey, it's been a while since you tested for mites. Here's a reminder. They're talking about making games and stuff on there. So stay tuned. It's very high tech and very fancy. And then we're also going to include more alcohol wash information. Does anyone want to try the shake trainer? You're just going to make me do it by myself?
What's the password? Anybody know the password for the building?
Oh, for the Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately we don't.
Okay, that's
Scott,
all
you
right.
know,
I don't think so.
So, you got it? Yeah. All right. So if you got the tutorial, so if you go to the bottom where it says tutorial, and then you swipe, or sorry, you go to the bottom where it's my guys, and then you swipe 7 times, and then there's the shake trainer, and so it's a minute because that's how long you're supposed to shake. So you can hear if you have an iPhone, the ringer has to be on. Okay, so start. So let's see, I'm not shaking right now. So
I'm here to show.
hear it? Shake harder.
Shake harder.
And then sometimes it'll say, shake faster. And sometimes it'll say, you could do better. So there's a lot of feedback from the staff. So it's really fun thing. And it's going to keep you encouraging people to learn how to shake for grow. It's a good tool and it's kind of fun. It's really exciting when you actually get a good job from this because it's very high standard. Not hearing anyone else have feedback. Anyone get any feedback?
Shake harder. Good job.
Good job! You probably should email someone and ask with the video for the how to do part sugar roll.
Oh, she got that.
Yeah.
Harder and harder.
Yeah. Right. So,
Is this available?
so this is available on YouTube. So how to do card tutorial is available on YouTube. You can also email and ask them to send you the file so you can embed it in a PowerPoint. There's a little compatibility issue here, but I have it on my computer, so if anyone wants to see the video here today, I'm happy to show you. We can also just find it on YouTube if you go to University of Minnesota ULab. They got really into to make a video about how to trigger roll, so there's like your standard 3-minute video that has everything you need to know. And then my co-worker who has her Master's of Fine Arts and also like really awesome violinist, they got her to play the Game of Thrones theme song, and the apiary in the mic check. There's also one where we have this yard where there's a lot of gnomes in it, like gnome statues, and so they have this like introduction to the gnomes during mic check. Basically just like trying to do like kind of quirky stuff to get you to watch a video about how to sing. We're trying really hard. Alright. So anyways, you can see a lot of different organizations and universities are working on this mic truck stuff because we recognize how important it is for beekeepers to be sampling regularly.
Get rid of a cup of coffee.
This is the Grow Easy Check that we were talking about. So this is one tool for doing an alcohol wash. It does kill 300 bees. We talk about killing 300 bees like taking a blood sample, right? So if you take a blood sample, it's not going to kill you. Take 300 bees and kill them for a mic check, it's not going to kill your colony. Some people are kind of hesitant. I think if you can get over that hesitancy and do an alcohol wash, that's really great. And your numbers might be a little bit more accurate, especially if you're sampling at a time with a high nectar flow when bees have a lot of nectar. So we talk about, for when we do integrated pest management, doing an intervention when your mites level exceeds the threshold. And we'll talk a little bit about thresholds, but there isn't just one perfect number that's going to work for every yard and every time of the year. It's really, really, really important that you follow the label. The label for a pesticide or for miticide is the law, so if you don't follow the label, you're not following the law. And also, you really want to take your own physical safety into consideration, and some of these mite treatments can be harmful to you, so you need to wear a respirator, make sure you wear a respirator. And then sometimes too, like we talk about this fall spike of varroa mites, but oftentimes you might have a spike in the spring, and the spring's a really good opportunity to get your mite levels as low as you can before that honey flow starts. So take mites really seriously in the spring as well. Katie Lee, who's just got her PhD out of the University of Minnesota ULab, her thesis research shows how just even a small number of mites in the spring can lead to really high levels in the fall, and colonies not being viable enough to even go to almonds for pollination. That data those data are unpublished right now, but you can kind of keep your eye out for them. But basically, she's saying like make sure that you keep your mite levels really low in the spring. Otherwise, we see from the data that your colonies won't look very good in the fall. So sometimes people watch us do this powder sugar roll video, and they're like, okay, what if I just say that I don't treat my colonies, but can I skip this monitoring because this looks like a lot of work and sticky. And the answer is no. Like that's not the best way to try to manage your varroa. Varroa cycles can vary from year to year. Over-treatment can be really hard on your bees. It can be expensive. Some varroa treatments contaminate the comb and build up in the comb. Over-treatment can lead to resistance to certain miticides, and then you might miss a spike in varroa if you don't monitor. So we recommend, especially if you're a small-scale beekeeper, make your management decisions off of your test results. Don't just guess about when you should be putting your miticide in your colony. So I'm going to show you some data from some colonies that we ran at the University of Minnesota. So we got 8 packaged colonies. Tim said I could share that they're from them. Look how, so these are the varroa levels in May and June. All 0. So like these packaged colonies had really low mite levels to start out with, right? And then we sampled them once a month. This was part of the Beanport Partnership Sentinel Apiary Program. So once a month we go and we take notes about queen status, colony size. We'd send a sample of 300 bees back to the University of Maryland lab. So these were alcohol wash tests. They would analyze, use their machines at the lab to give us back information on our mite levels and our SEMA levels. And so we're able to really compare. In 2017, 2017, we did this in 3 yards. The data all looked pretty similar. In this yard, we had no mites in May, June, no detectable mites. That means that mite levels are, mites are in the colony, but they're really, really low levels. July, we had one colony spike up from 0 to 7%. So if you're thinking about 300 bees, that's 21 mites per 300 bees, 7 per 100. So this lightning bolt means that we put a treatment on it. So we treated this colony number 8, at the end of July. And then the next month, we had high mite levels in a lot of our colonies in August. We treated the end of August. That treatment doesn't look like we got great knockouts from that treatment. We used mitoid strips for all of these treatments. We treated again at the end of September because mites were still high. And we had pretty good control going in October. So there was one colony at 5% and the rest were under 1%. So that shows kind of our seasonal trend on 2017. Yes?
You're treating all of the colonies in the area, or just the
So are we treating all the colonies in the apiary or just the colonies that are high? We're treating, so with the exception of the 7% one, that one we just treated that colony. The other times we treated the whole yard. And normally the best practice is if you have a colony that's over threshold, you treat the whole yard for mites. So that's a really good question. Yes?
So how do you explain the treatment in August, but super crystals that looks like it's effective going into September? Is that because there's some hockey going on late in August?
Yeah, so what does the August treatment look like? So there's a few different questions about that. One is that the colony is really, really big at that point of the year in Minnesota in August. And so we don't know what it would have looked like if we hadn't done the August treatment. Maybe mite levels would have been much higher in September if we hadn't done the August treatment, and the August treatment just kind of dictates mite levels where they were. There's also some data that show that August treatments are really hard to be effective because the colony is so big at that point that it's just hard for the treatment to reach all of the bees there.
What kind of data do you take?
I can't remember what time of day the treatment was put on. This was a couple of years ago. Yes.
How did you treat? Was it a 2 pad at a time or a single
So this
pad?
was a 2-pad treatment right away from STIP. Yep. And we did a follow-up at the end of the season with an oxalic acid system. So I just want you to think about for this, remembering that question of can I just skip monitoring and just treat? Okay, so 2017 we have high levels in August and September. So if we were to make our management decisions off of this year's data, we would treat maybe end of September, right? So last year, we had 7 sentinel apiaries that we treated all the same situation. 8 packet colonies, all high gum foundation in 7 different locations, and we saw mite levels spike way later in the year. So May, June, July, August, they all were pretty low. August, we treated at the end of August because we had, one mite level, one colony that was at the threshold. September mite levels were really low again, so we were feeling pretty good, and then all of a sudden October, we had a huge spike in mites. So if we hadn't taken those October samples, or if we had assumed that our mite cycle would be the same as the year before, we would have made some pretty bad decisions about when to put treatment on. So, what management options can we consider? When we tackle integrated pest management, we don't think of just applying chemicals, we try to think of other ways that we can control our pests. So control our pests in general. So one way of controlling pests is through biological control. And so with biological control, you're trying to think, okay, is there a predator that I can release that's going to kill this pest? Obviously, there's been times where that's gone really poorly for people. Like, you don't want to just start introducing one species because it's going to kill a pest, because that can have unintended consequences. And maybe that predator will take over and be a different pest or something else. So this is something that is part of the integrated pest management theory, but a lot of research goes on to decide whether or not you want to use a biological control. You don't want to just introduce species, right? So there is some research going on right now about biological control for rural mites. This is not to tell you that you should do it. I don't think it's not something that we recommend, but I want you to just see that researchers are trying to think of other ways to control rural mites. So there's this mite that's a native mite, and it's used to control fungus gnats and thrips. eating the bee brood, like it's attacking the egg. So not a great sign, but this is why we do research, right? So we can learn. And they also tried in the hive, and they didn't see the same kind of effect on the brood. But they also saw that this predatory mite was only attacking the rural mites that had fallen onto the bees, not the mites that were on the bees. So this is not a treatment recommendation, but just as part of the puzzle is researchers looking at different ways to control mites, not just through chemicals, but through other ways. Another way is genetic, trying to figure out resistance to mites. And there are several bee breeding programs in the United States that are trying to develop lines of bees that are able to resist mites. So in Purdue University, they have the mite biters, or sometimes they were called the ankle biters, even though mites don't have ankles. And so these bees had a genetic tendency where they would chew at the little legs of the mite, and then they'd fall off more easily. So they're working to make a line of bees that has this genetic tendency, so they're better able to groom off mites. We know some kinds of honeybees, like Africanized honeybees, are better at grooming mites off each other, and so we're trying to figure out how can we have bees that are better at grooming mites. The Baton Rouge lab, USDA lab, is working on a line called Varroa-sensitive hygiene. So these bees are able to often detect mites that are developing brood, and they'll interrupt the brood cycle. So if there's a mite reproducing on a pupa, the adult bees will chew off that and uncap that cell, and that interrupts the mite reproduction cycle. So that's pretty cool. And then the University of Minnesota just started a new bee breeding line, and they're looking for propolis collection. Do you all know what propolis is? The resins that bees bring in. And for a while, a lot of Marla's research has been about the health benefits of propolis. So the beekeepers is kind of annoying, right? It's like never ever gets out of your clothes unless someone has a trick that I haven't figured out. And it's really sticky. But for a while, we thought bees just kind of used to seal off their hives and kind of make it more waterproof. But that propolis has a lot of antimicrobial properties, and there's a lot of immune and health benefits out of resin. So Marla is the first of bees that collect a lot of resin because we want our bees to have more propolis in their house. Some of our other graduate students are looking at different ways we can put propolis traps in or encourage bees to put more propolis in their hives. So, for example, we're really used to using these hives with these really smooth, flat walls, right? And maybe it's better for bees if we use rough wood, because then the bees have more cracks and nooks to put propolis in. And if we can get our bees to put more propolis in their hive, that can have some benefits for their immune systems. So she's developing a line where the bees will hopefully collect more propolis that will also have hygienic behavior. So that's similar to the Varroa-sensitive hygiene, where Varroa-sensitive hygiene is kind of a subset of hygienic. It's where the bees will detect if there's diseased brood and pull it out. And you want bees that are really hygienic because they're interrupting the disease cycle. And then also bees that just naturally have a low level of raw mites. So some of these lines you can buy kind of bigger queens or get bees from someone who's got bees from these labs. The Minnesota lab is pretty new. They're in their second year this year. So we get this question a lot of like, okay, so I'm a backyard beekeeper and I want to be treatment free. I don't want any chemicals on. And this way I'll kind of make my own line of bees that are resistant to varroa, right? And if we could do that, we would. That would be awesome if you could just say, okay, I'm going to have my bees and some of them will survive, and that survivor stock is going to be the best bees ever because they made it without varroa. But it's unfortunately, outside of the big bee breeding program, it's really hard to develop your own line that's varroa resistant. So even if you do have this colony that's really good at maintaining low mite levels, that colony is still susceptible to horizontal transmission. So even if it has all the right genetic tendencies, you still need to control for horizontal transmission because that colony can be wiped out. Another thing is that when you're doing a bee line or a bee breeding program, you really need to take into account the drones, right? So for bee breeding programs, they'll artificially inseminate bees, or they'll have isolated yards like on islands, so that they're